When do I wanna love you? When do I wanna see you? When do I wanna love you? When do I wanna
Shout out to the room.
You were looking so good to me the night we met. I could not see how deep you were penetrate my heart. Now that some time has passed, you make me feel
Shout out to the room.
to last. I never wanna be apart.
Oh no.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Shout out to my broken nail. Hello?
When do I wanna love you?
Every day.
When do I wanna see you?
All the time.
When do I wanna love you?
Every day.
When do I wanna see you? Sunday.
Tony, my back office girl said she was here before you.
She want all of my time.
I want all of your time.
Feel the same, but
I want all of your time. Shout out to the room. Shout out to the room. I've got updates on stuff. We've got a little change in schedule. Please tell me you all heard the music. Please, microphone check 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me so I could talk to you? You heard the music? Did you hear the music good? 'Cause I'll start this over. Hello? Shout out to the room. Listen to me. I know I came on earlier and some of you saw me earlier, but I'm back and you're back and we've got some business to take care of. You want to know what time it is? You want to know what time it is? Oh my God.
Finally, a show with an array of topics. I mean, she talks about it all. The Natasha Simona Sequence, Evening Edition, begins now.
Shout out to the entire room. Shout out to the whole entire room. Shout out to everybody walking in here. Get it together. Get your act right on. Get your act right on. You were on earlier. Yup. I have a whole morning show. Shout out to Stevie that's in the building. Hello. Hello, everybody. Shout out to the whole room. Shout out to everybody. Move your body. Everybody. It's kind of an emergency, low key. I just sent Rick a text message, but I need him to send me something. So if you could tag Rick Party in here, I need to get his attention like yesterday. Shout out to D Nice that just walked into the building. Hello. Shout out to the whole entire room. I hope everybody had a great Monday. Thank you to everybody that's been calling and checking on 10 and 13. They are officially ready to go back to school per the doctor's orders. Thank you so much. Hello. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That was really important. So today we got full clearance for the Rugrats to go back to school. I have officially nursed them back to health. Thank you. So if you want my witch doctor routine, I do not lead with Western medicine. So be prepared to eat a whole bunch of herbs of the earth. But nonetheless, check this out. Everybody that's walking in the building, if you want a drink, the bar is open. I've had a long day. And Derek says, well, technically I swiped into the building. Well, then I don't know. If you want to be here, then you're more than welcome to be here. But if you accidentally swiped in here, then please, Derek, stay. I know you've got a big show happening at Kennedy Center. I wish I could swipe myself in there too. Hello? I wish I could swipe my way into Kennedy Center. So shout out to D Nice. That's he just added to the roster. I saw Faith Evans and Hello? Eric Benet? Can somebody swipe me in there? LOL and in tight. I'm just joking with you because I know I tell people I walk in here. Roll with me, baby. Rock with me. But shout out to you, Derek. You're doing some amazing things. So you're going to go from DC, spinning at the Kennedy Center, and you're going to go straight to wherever the American Music Awards is happening. Where is it happening this year? Is it in LA or Vegas? You're going to be one tired man come Monday morning. Well, listen, mi casa, su casa. You unrolled your amazing CQ audience with me, and I'm unrolling my amazing Natasha Simona sequencers to you. So I would love to have you on and have a wonderful conversation of the things you've got going on. So if you've got any time this week, if you're not, getting that beautiful head together and your clothes right, drop on by. I would absolutely love to cam you up and talk to you about all these amazing events that you've got going on and love up on you. Hi, Derek. I haven't been able to do that in a while. I hope you're well, Derek. I just want to thank you for everything thus far. You have made my 2022 amazing. Thank you so much. All right, everybody, knock it off. Sit up straight. Get your drinks together. Listen to me. First of all, I'm going to start the show off by saying this. If today's your birthday, happy birthday. Let me know if it's your birthday and I'll sing to you. Hello? Shout out to Kat that just walked in the door. Shout out to everybody walking in the door right now. If today's your birthday, happy birthday. If today's your husband's birthday or your wife's birthday, happy birthday to them. Y'all know the evening show's a little PG-13, right? So let's roll down the list. If today's the side piece's birthday, the one piece, the two piece, the side piece, the mailman, shout out to them too. Happy birthday. If today's your anniversary, happy anniversary to you. And, if you woke up this Monday morning and you said you've had enough of Shirley and Tommy and you walked your way to the divorce court, well, congratulations on your new life going forward. Hello? Shout out to the room. Let's see. King says it's my birthday. Well, King, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Oh, King, to you. Happy birthday to King. Happy birthday to you. There you go. Happy birthday, King, and happy birthday to anybody else that may not be saying it's their birthday. Shout out to the entire room. Now, listen, you all know that this is the part where I get into the headlines. We do have a change of pace today. We had Mercedes Banks, the lupus warrior that I talked to you all. If you were on the this morning's show and you were watching me, I told you we had a lupus living warrior that was supposed to be joining us tonight, but unfortunately, Mercedes is not well today. I got a message from Mercedes herself, and she said she could not pull it together to come on the show. And so I wanted you all to know, wanted you to know that, because I'm asking you to keep her in your prayers. She's got a pretty nice following, and support base over on Facebook. So if you have Facebook, just look her up. Her name is Mercedes Banks. I'm not sure her presence here on Instagram, but nonetheless, this girl has been living with lupus since she was 12 years old. She's 24 years old now. And she's going through it, for lack of a better term of emotion. And when she's better, she is going to come back on. Myself and my executive producer of the show, Rick Party, is in touch with her. We can't seem to get him in the room, right? That's okay. I need something from him, and it's quite important. But nonetheless, we will keep the show going. I'm watching the comments diligently and watching our back office connection back here. Anyway, so that is the unfortunate hiccup for tonight. So if you were here to hear Mercedes Banks' story, I'm very sorry. She's not well enough to take an interview tonight. However, we do have Kweisi. His last name is, boy, this is a trip to say, Gharreu. Oh, Lord. Kweisi's going to kill me for just totally butchering his name. I'm so sorry, Kweisi. But this man is extraordinary. His story is one that is captivating and compelling. And if you think you've been through some life, I think you should stick around and listen to me. Shout out to everybody from the South with an F side of Chicago. All my Kappas, tag a Kappa in the building. All my poets, all my activists in the building. And this is definitely a story of perseverance. So stick around for Kweisi, who will be coming up in a few short moments. Now, this is the part of the show where I like to get into the headlines, but I want everybody to listen to me. And this is something that I want you all to grab this message. So grab your drinks, and I just want you to listen to me carefully for the next couple of seconds here. This morning, I like to go down a rabbit hole. I think I stuck a foot in a rabbit hole this morning, right? Did we stick our whole foot, or did we stick our toe in the rabbit hole? And we were talking about, I was talking to you guys about like subscriptions and yada, yada, yada. And I just kind of laid it out. And if you want to go back and rewatch the show, it's up there. I keep all the replays, but nonetheless, sometimes these comments, you all have your own conversations in the comments, and I love it. I love that I can be talking my mouth off, and you all can be listening and also opening a tab of your own. I think that's amazing, and I love it. But what happens is sometimes, somebody might walk in the room and catch it's just like eavesdropping. Do you know what I'm saying? You catch a part of the conversation, and you're like, what? And when people are extra sensitive and protective over you, they might see something that wasn't intended to be what you thought it was, but they're going to take a screenshot and they're going to send it to you. Hello? Am I talking French, or y'all know what I'm saying? So this morning I was sent a screenshot per the topic we were talking about, and the person thought it was about something else, and really it wasn't. And if you've been on this journey with me, every so often I get a little sensitive. Maybe that's the word I could use. I'll use that word. Why not? I'm talking about myself. Things get a little interesting, and it's not easy sitting here twice a day, every day after certain things happen. We don't need to go down that rabbit hole. If you know, you know. If you don't, well, it is what it is. Now, I caught something from a screenshot, and I just kind of went off. Do y'all remember that? For those who were in the show this morning, I just, I kind of derailed it, and I went off a little bit. And then behind the scenes, and as a disclaimer, it was not my back office girl. So for everybody that thinks it was my back office girl, it was not her. So no need to jump down my back office girl. Leave her alone. But I went off the rail, and I addressed what I thought it could have possibly been, instead of just ignoring it and moving forward. And when I went to correspond with the person, because I was kind of shocked. Do you know what I'm saying? I was kind of like, oh, where is this coming from? You and I were cool. Hello? She was able to explain, and I was able to apologize, because it was definitely a gross misunderstanding, and it wasn't fair. And I said to her, as loud and obnoxious as I was to call you out this morning, I will be loud and corrective later. And she was like, you don't have to. I was just taken, she said she was taken aback because it had nothing to do, she reiterated what it was. And I said, no. And so I'm here to tell you, and directly to Nicole Nick, is that her? That's her name, right? Back office girl, correct me if I'm wrong. Nicole Nick, right? For anybody that was in there. I want to publicly and loudly apologize to Nicole Nick. It was a gross misunderstanding, right? Okay. It was a gross misunderstanding. You were having a conversation that was already existing, and the person that captured that, disclaimer, it was not it was none of my back office people. The person that captured that and sent it to me, came in on the complete middle tail end, or whatever it was, to something that you were corresponding with everybody else. So I apologize to you. I apologize to any and everybody that came in here with her, that is friends with her, colleagues with her, related to her, whomever. and everybody that was in the morning show, and anybody that's going to watch this and then go back because now everybody's curious and you want to put two and two together. The point is that I am very sorry. Now, I further had Sweet Mama Midnight's. What you said? I never apologized to you. What I gotta apologize? Don't y'all start reaming off all. Now, let me tell you all something. I do want you all to understand this. I do know that a lot of you respectfully are my big brothers and big sisters in here. I do joke around and call you all my vintage community, aka my geriatric community. Shout out to y'all. Hello. You know, I say that with a loving, loving heart. But I do understand that we all literally have space to grow, no matter how old we are. I don't care if you're 12, 22, 24, or, 74. We all, or 104, right? We all have room to grow and learn from each other. You learn from your neighbors, and for everybody in the chat, your neighbor is above you and below you and wherever else. And I want you all to know that I'm all about accountability, right? Me personally, I'm about accountability. So if I do something wrong and you call me out on it and I'm able to recognize, you have to recognize your fault. If you don't recognize your fault, then hold your apology, if you understand what I'm saying. But if you recognize what you did as a fault and you either can explain yourself or explain yourself to be understood differently, then you should be able to issue the level of understanding or apology necessary. Am I speaking to be understood? I've always been that way. I don't know it all, and I don't always say the right things. Nobody's perfect, and I will never, ever walk this earth to claim to be perfect. I don't want to be perfect. That's too much pressure. Hello? So I want you all to learn and understand from this that when you publicly do something to anyone, I don't care who they are to you, when you publicly do something, don't expect a private apology to suffice. Do you understand what I'm saying? Hello? So treat everything with the same energy is my point here. So the same energy that I gave this woman this morning out of my own quick response is the same energy I'm going to give her in my moment of taking my time to really acknowledge her. Nicole Nikki. Is her name Nicole Nikki or Nicole Nick? I'm going to take my time and I'm going to apologize to her and every single person that was in that room. And then we're going to move forward. Hello. I spoke to her behind the scenes. I spoke to her earlier. I spoke to her immediately after the show. So shout out to the room. Shout out to the entire room. Let's get through these headlines before Kweisi walks in the door. Shout out to everybody. I know you might need a refill on your drink. Give me a moment and let me Sweet Mama Midnights is coming for me today. Back down. Shout out to God's lovely lady. She said, that's why I rock with you, Natasha. She didn't say it like that. I'm reading it like that. Shout out to the room. All right, everybody, straighten up. The moment is still here. But let's just act normal. Just act normal. Rolling Cotton says, rolling my eyes about geriatric. Shout out to all my geriatric brothers and sisters in the building. Hold on. I got a fan for you. Anybody flashing that needs a fan, listen up. I got you covered. See the fan? I just turned it on. There you go. I'll give you a blue light tonight. Hey, there you go. I got you. I'll fan us for us. You know I love you all. You know my mom, Chanel says, I'm blocking Tosh immediately after this show. Block me. I'll talk about you tomorrow so you can unblock me so you can know what I'm saying. My mom said to me, she says, as we are getting older, I'm of a certain age. You have to be careful. We don't want to realize that we're getting older. I said, but hello. Would you like me to pet your head when you come, mommy? You're getting older. I'm so sorry that life is slowing down a little bit. Girl, you better turn up. Hello? Who's slowing down in here? I bet you my vintage community drops it hotter and better than me. Y'all probably got the mega knees dropping it low. I can't drop it low. I don't drop it hot. I see some of your pictures when you all go to the club and stuff like that. Meanwhile, I'm here with my footed pajamas and Milo. Who knows about Milo in here? Where's my Caribbean community? Hello? I laugh and joke around about y'all, calling y'all a geriatric community. Meanwhile, grandma, I'm talking about myself, grandma over here. Every 10 seconds I'm flashing. I got the Lifetime movie channel on. I'm over here scrolling on my phone, waiting for somebody's son to text me back. Y'all are living a good life. Hello? Listen, let's get into some headlines. Let's keep Jay Leno in our thoughts and prayers. I don't know if you're aware, but Jay Leno has an insatiable love for classic cars. He's got a private garage full of all of his collectibles and his current, I suppose. But he was burned severely over the weekend, all over the left side of his face. One of his cars exploded. And he's dealing with some serious burns. He was supposed to be doing, a press run, and he couldn't. And they only said, from what the reports were saying, not reports, but his PR was saying, he was injured and yada yada yada. But now it came out that he's literally in a burn center as we communicate. So shout out to Jay Leno, and he did give a quote. He says, where did he give this? I forget where I got this quote from. Not like y'all care to fact check this. You can Google it. Hello? But he said, I got some serious burns from a gasoline fire. I'm okay. Just need a week or two to get back on my feet. Dear Jay Leno, somebody run this to him. You don't need a week or two. First of all, you need probably a month or two to make sure your face is healed on properly. But you want to know, so hold on a minute. Let me take that back. He's got a lot of money. I'm pretty sure he can get a whole facial reconstruction and healing done in 3 days. Shout out to people with money that could do that. Jay Leno, do me a favor and don't come out here looking like Two-Face. Remember Two-Face from Batman? He's like burned on one side and you can see his whole like skeletal core through his face. Like, hello, Jay Leno, please. And don't be funny about it, please. Please do not do that. Do not come half face, half skeleton. But rest up and take your time. So we keep our thoughts and prayers with Jay Leno. Like, for real. No funny business. Okay. While you're still on your hands and knees praying, please keep Roberta Flack. I don't know why I just had an issue saying her last name. Please keep her in your prayers. Her people just announced that she has ALS. Our legends, man. Our legends are really leaving us. Isn't that sad to believe? With her velvety voice. Well, she has ALS. They're saying that she is no longer able to speak and sing. Now, they're coming out with this story because she has a documentary coming out soon. There's a screening happening on the 17th, so in like 3 days in New York City. So if you haven't gotten your tickets, you can literally go to her Instagram page, and she's like, they have it posted up there how to obtain these tickets. But nonetheless, her team felt it was important to come out with the story because she's got a whole series of different projects coming up, and the 50th anniversary to what is it, Killing Me Softly? It's next year. So with all of these appearances and stuff like that, they felt it was best to just let people know there's an issue, just in case she shows up and it's like, what the hell's going on? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to beat the rumors. So shout out to Roberta Flack. That's keep her, her family, and everybody that works with her in your thoughts and prayers. ALS is uncurable, just in case you all didn't know. I honestly did not know. When something doesn't hit you directly, you just don't really do as much research. Like, you talk to me about colon cancer, I'm gonna read you the book. Any kind of cancer, I'm reading you the book. I'm afraid of cancer. Cancer has killed off a lot of my family members and some of my favorite people. So shout out to Roberta Flack. That's honestly, that's all I've got on her. Talk about making light of a situation that was crazy. Do you all remember back in 97 when Mike Tyson bit the Holy Christ portion of Evander? Why did I just report it like that? The show is over. Forget it. This man, Evander Holyfield and Mike Tyson, they were in a fight, a boxing fight, okay? And Mike bit the crap out of Evander Holyfield's ear. Well, a gazillion years later, Mike Tyson has a cannabis company, okay? Did you know that he has a cannabis company? Part of his Tyson 2.0 company, he opens up a cannabis company. And now they are best friends. Shout out to Bestie. These two are the real besties. And now they have an edible coming out together called Holy Ears. Holy Ears. The two of them are in business. And this particular cannibal, guess the shape. Just take a guess. No, it's not a heart. Who said it was a heart? Look at my audience. Look at this. Look at the audience telling me it's a heart. Shut up. This is why you can't have live people in the studio. You gotta go. You're a distraction. A heart for peace. No, it's an ear. So can you imagine going to your edible shop and getting holy ears and reenacting that moment that's etched in history, biting the ears of Evander Holyfield? Why is life so ridiculous sometimes? Crazy. Well, Mike Tyson's edibles, it's available in 24 states. I'm, obviously going to take a stab in the dark here and say it's available in the states that have legalized cannabis. Duh. Mike said, if I was on cannabis, I wouldn't have bitten his ear. Somebody said I can't hear you. Daisy said I can't hear you. Hello? Microphone check 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me so I can talk to you? What is going on? Was she being funny? Wait, was she being funny? or is there something wrong with my microphone? Daisy. Daisy, if I walked into that trap, I'm done with you, Daisy. Make this show go away. Oh my God. I walked right into that one. Tell her to get one of the edibles and sew it on. Cotton says, yes, we hear you and your ass is loud. Hello? You thought I was only loud in the morning time. Good evening, everybody. It's Monday, February 14th. Excuse me. See, look at me. Moving forward. Oh my God. Okay, so Dave Chappelle, he did his thing over the weekend. If you don't have a sense of humor, get out. Get out. Listen, if you don't appreciate Dave Chappelle's humor, that's fine. Nobody is here to force you to appreciate anybody's humor. Hell, you might not even appreciate my humor. But then again, I'm not a comedian, and I'm glad I'm not, because I wouldn't have a... Wait a minute, I don't have a job. That's probably my problem. That's probably my problem. Shout out to all the program directors and the executives at the networks. I'm ready for the contract. Come on, Bobby. Send it on over. Anyway. Listen. Crass and tacky comedy has been around since our great grandparents and so on and so forth. Every comedian has their own style, okay? Every comedian has their own style. That's why there's so many of them. And in the name of social media, we can pick and choose who we listen to. Hello? There's so many different media outlets. So leave Dave alone. He's not over here leading a tribe to harm the LGBTQ plus community. He's not leading a tribe to harm our non-melanated brothers and sisters, aka the whites. He's doing comedy his way and his way of storytelling. I personally like Dave Chappelle. I personally like him. And how he presents his monologues based off of his own experiences is quite genius, in my opinion. It's my opinion. It's Saturday night. You could have either rolled over and went to bed. You could have flipped the channel to something else. Or you could have sat there and not use your little Twitter fingers to talk about how tasteless and tacky he was. Now, here's the thing, and I talked about this the other day with you all. We're gonna dip our toe in this rabbit hole really quickly before Kweisi walks in the door. The thing with learning history is it's not pretty. We all acknowledged, what was it, on Friday's show or Thursday's show, that we were robbed of our history. Everyone in totality. No matter how much melanin you have on your neck, no matter who you pray to, no matter how you pray, and no matter what God you preach to, we were all robbed of history. And now today, more than ever, we are able to learn about everything that has happened to us as a people. And when I say us, I'm talking to the human race. I'm talking to humans. If you are human, I'm talking to you. So when Dave comes on and he tries to bring a little humor to the storytelling aspect of what is happening today, some of you might not like it. Some of you actually don't like the reality of what is happening and the truth that is being unearthed. Hello? I didn't realize my damn air horns were so low today. Nobody told me my air horns were low, huh? Hello? Turned it up for you. The truth and reality of what this country, the blood that is on this country's hands, is not the nicest. It's not. But if you have someone that can storytell it and ease a little bit of the digestion, but still keep some truth in there and probably make it a little bit easier for the people in the back to understand, I'm here for it. And I don't care if you are a woman comedian, a man, black, white, I don't care. If you can actually make light of certain things that's going on, I'm here for it. It's, who's getting pissed off by it? It's the people who don't want to face the music. So shout out to Dave Chappelle for standing on that stage and delivering his monologue the way in which he did. And that's it. And shout out to everybody that's open to learning and fixing things, less of the emotions behind how and what this country is built on, but understanding what it is and moving forward to create unity and peace going forward. I was raised a little bit differently. And if you listen to his monologue, I was sitting there watching it like, that's me too. when my parents moved on the block that I was raised on, we were one of 4 or 3 black families. My best friends growing up. Shout out to Courtney Fisher and Ben Ziman and Russell. All my friends from elementary school through high school. All of my Jewish friends that accepted me as their sister and cousin. Because listen, I could go down a whole rabbit hole with that, but I grew up with a whole Jewish clique. I grew up on Fridays going to temple with my girlfriends. I grew up going to the bar mitzvahs and the bar mitzvahs. Hell, I grew up wanting one. I never got one. I'm still not understanding why nobody ever threw me one, but that's another story for another day. Some of my closest friends are Jewish today. So, everybody's experiences are different. And I will say, as a full grown adult that is still learning about the history the land that we live on, there's a lot of topics that I personally am ignorant to that I love learning about because I just straight up don't know. And when things are direct towards a community that I'm friends with, not only do they have questions that I can't answer, that I'm like, well, we should learn this together, but we don't look at each other like, oh, Kanye is your people and he's talking about us, so we're not going to mess with you. A small-minded mentality. I personally don't run around in circles with small-minded people. Hello? The circles that I run around with and play with and have dinners with and cry with and talk on the phone with and I trust with my children are people who are evolving and learning and want to do better for this world. And they're curious and they want to know. And when I don't have the answers to give them, I'm like, let's circle back to this. Anyhow, shout out to the room. Shout out to the entire room. Shout out to everybody that's in here. You need a refill on your drinks, right? That concludes our headlines. Our guest that's about to walk in the door. First of all, where is our guest? Hello? Rick Party still hasn't walked in the building, right? Okay, hold on a second, everybody. We gotta make a phone call. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Hold on momentarily. Sometimes you gotta call the back office. Yeah. This guy will keep his do not disturb on. Why would you keep your do not disturb on? Hold on. Oh my God. Duh. Okay, everybody. See. Shout out to everybody that lives in the metaverse and you follow Rick Party in the metaverse. If you can get him now. I need you. Please. 911. I put 9111. Oh, shout out to my back office team. Only one person seems to be working. I just, Dear Rick Party, I didn't realize you were in the building. Oh, wait. Oh, no. That's my back office girl. Hold on. I sent the text to the wrong person. I need you. 911. Sorry, back office girl. Rick Party. Okay. Everybody, don't worry about it. All right, everybody. Rick must have went to sleep. Shout out to my back office girl, though. Our guest tonight. Straighten up, because I'm about to give it to you. Our guest tonight. He's from the... Oh, gosh. Hold on, everybody. Just act normal. Okay. Shout out to my back office team. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, Rick is sick of my ish. Thank you, everybody. Here we go. Was he here the whole time? He heard me talking crazy? As long as y'all know I'm real, I will act up in real life. Hold on, everybody. Everybody just act normal for like 45 seconds. Give me a countdown starting now. I just need 45 seconds to do something. All right, everybody, that's it. I probably didn't even use up my whole 45 seconds. Shout out to Damage Control. Everybody, I want you to know this man that's coming into the room. Actually, he's here. He's in the green room. His name is Kweisi. I'm going to have him say his last name because I can't be butchering people's names. From the south side of Chicago. He's a Kappa. Hello. He studied abroad and obtained his master's from the illustrious Oxford University in England. He introduced spoken word on the Rick Party Show back in the 90s, and he did that for 6 whole years on WGCI. He publicly forgave the men that murdered his younger brother. You heard that correctly. He's a self-published author, and he's a brand strategist. Everybody, please straighten up and put your hands together for Kweisi.
Natasha Simone sequence. Evening edition. Tonight's special guest, self-published author, activist, Kweisi the poet.
Hello. Shout out Kweisi hello, Kweisi. That was your cue to walk in the door. Maybe he needs the air horns. Hello, Kweisi. I'm so curious to ask a whole bunch of questions. There's a lot happening on this paper. Kweisi. Okay,
Peace.
Kweisi. Hi, Kweisi.
Peace. What's up? How you doing?
First of all, Kweisi, this is not what you're gonna do. I need to not look up your nose.
Look, I'm trying to do this properly.
I know you are not a brand strategist to some of the hottest artists, and we got to get you together. Okay, Kweisi, with your tie and your okay, you're giving me Malcolm X-ish.
Yeah, that's my boy too. Yeah, no doubt, for sure. By any means necessary.
Yeah, Kweisi, let me straighten up. Welcome to the Natasha Simone sequence.
Thanks for having me, Natasha Simone.
Don't, Kweisi, act normal. Act like you have not been dealing with me for the last year and a half. Getting me bookings.
I am actually normal. I am normal. This is who I am, you know?
Kweisi, I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for hooking me up with, some great artists of yours that you represent. Now you are the artist. Now you are the talent on my show. So this is definitely a nice change of pace. It's actually quite different. So just act normal, okay? Let me do this. Let me control you because you're used to controlling me and controlling your artist. So now I got you in the hot seat. I can see all 5,000 of your teeth. I know you're probably blushing. I got you over here, okay?
For sure. I'm with it. Let's do it.
Now, I don't know where I want to start with you because everything about you is so impactful. Now, you grew up in the South with an F, South side of Chicago.
Yes.
And
the Wild Minutes.
Exactly. You made it out of the hood, sort of say. You go and you study abroad over at Oxford University. That's not a walk in the park. So you
Oxford Brooks University. Oxford Brooks University. Oxford Brooks University.
Oh, Okay, you're gathering me on my own show. Hello. I got to get it right. So you leave the hood, you go across the pond and you do your thing.
Yes.
Um, and another fun fact, you were a barber.
Yes, I'm still a barber. I just don't cut professionally anymore. I mean, I still cut my son's hair. I cut some friends' hair here and now and again, but I just don't cut professionally.
And then you introduced spoken word in your hometown on the legendary Rick Party show over when he was on WGCI, which is a legendary station still in operation.
Yes, I used to cut Rick Party's hair back in the day in the mid '90s.
He had hair?
Yes, Rick Party actually had hair back in the day. Believe it or not.
I didn't know that. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. So one love to Rick Party.
Yeah, so shout out to Rick Party and his hair. But listen, before we get to all of that, you publicly forgave the men that killed your younger brother. Tie this in for me. Help me.
Yes. Yeah. Well, my younger brother Lamont, James Lemont Ford, aka Lamont, he was 17 years old at the time. Lamont forfeited his life to save a female friend. The two guys, Eric Taylor and Jonathan Jenkins. It was an unusually warm winter day in Chicago on Saturday, January 11th, 1992. Lamont and his friends were, doing what teenagers do, watching movies, playing video games, and listening to music. So Lamont was at the mall during the day, about 12 noon. And back on the block on 136th and Low Street in Riverdale, Lamont's friends had noticed Eric and Jonathan walking up and down the street. And one time they walked by them, and one of them said, "Ain't nothing but GDs around here." So Lamont's friends kept to themselves and kept it moving. Later on that night, about 9:30, Lamont eats dinner with my mom, asks if he can go out, meets with his friends. An hour later, everybody goes back home about 10:30 to check in. Lamont didn't have to check in because he had just left my mom. And so as Lamont and his friend Kim was waiting for his other friends to come back from checking in with their parents, Eric and Jonathan came back on the block, but this time in a car. Jonathan was driving. He pulled the car in front of Lamont and Kim. Eric got out of the passenger side, approached Kim. Kim thought Eric was going to ask for direction, so she stepped back. Eric approached her again. She stepped back, and he revealed the sawed-off 12-gauge shotgun. At that point, Lamont stepped in to protect her, told her to step back. Then Eric turned his attention from Kim to Lamont and was like, "Yo, dude, we got something to talk about." Forced Lamont in the car with the 12-gauge to his back. Kim ran home to my mom, knocked banging on the door. "Diane, Diane, Diane, someone kidnapped Lamont." They took Lamont 3 miles from our home. During the 3-mile ride, they made Lamont strip of all of his clothes, even his underwear. They took him to Dixmoor, 142nd and Lincoln Street, to a vacant lot. Jonathan stopped the car. Eric told Lamont to get out of the car, walked him to the vacant lot, placed Lamont on his knees, his face. The right side of his head had a hole in it the size of a grapefruit. His face. The ear on the right side of his head was barely attached. His face, his eyes were still open. They had bulged out of his head, and his head became disfigured from the gunshot blast. His face, blood had ran from his nose. Blood had ran from his nose to his mouth, while blood on the Moore table sat in puddles from the head wound. His face. Lamont didn't even look like him. His face. Only if you could see his face, his face, his face, his face, his face. And this is my younger brother. 2 hours after he was shot in the head, execution style with a sawed-off 12-gauge shotgun by Eric Taylor. That was 2 hours. This is my debut poetry book, Innocent Rage. I dealt with my brother's death through writing poetry. 2 weeks later, when they caught Eric and Jonathan, Jonathan had on my younger brother's stonewashed black jeans and his black and white felines. And so poetry has been a way for me to deal and heal from my brother's death. And this is how powerful poetry has been and writing in my life. Because what would you do if someone killed your brother? Eric, what's up, bruh? I am Kweisi. I am writing you this letter because I would like to meet and forgive you for the murder of my younger brother, James Lamont Ford. During our meeting, if you choose, you do not have to say or admit anything. I would just like the opportunity to express my personal and family pain and hurt, and in turn, make peace with you. I pray for you and your family that you are doing well under your conditions. I also pray and hope you accept my invitation. I want to do this for myself so I can end the chapter on Lamont's death and move on progressively with my life. And to let you know that it's okay. And to let you know that it's okay. That I understand your pain. That I understand your pain and struggle as a Black man in America. Please give us the opportunity to meet, and perhaps we may be able to develop a relationship where I can help you during your tumultuous times. Sincerely, Kweisi. P.S. If you accept this invitation, feel free to call me Collect at. Now, I wrote this letter to both Eric and Jonathan. Jonathan did call Collect. I've forgiven him on the phone, but he did not give me permission to go to Cook County Jail to meet him. Eric called me Collect, and at the time I was living with my mother. Guess who answered the phone? My mother. And at that moment, that wasn't a pleasant moment between my mother and myself, answering the phone of the killer who killed her son. Nonetheless, I had my conversation with Eric. He gave me permission to come to Cook County, or to go to Cook County Jail to meet him. I met him the initial time. We made our peace. I put my fist to the glass. He put his fist to the glass, said my piece. And I visited him 3 other times prior to them transporting him to downstate Chicago, downstate Illinois. Because during the month of January 92, they killed 2 people and attempted to kill a 3rd person, but he survived the gunshot wound. And so
These same 2 people?
Yeah, they killed 2 people during the month of January, with Lamont, my younger brother, being one of the victims, and they attempted to kill a 3rd person, but he survived the gunshot wound, and he was one of the people who testified during the murder trial. And so, in forgiving Eric and Jonathan, I didn't want to become a double victim of my brother's murder, the aftermath. I didn't want to continue to live with the pain and the hurt and the hate and the anger, because understand, I went through a period of my life in dealing with my brother's death that I hated Black people. You know, I hated Black women because my brother died for a Black woman. I hated my mom for teaching us to be goody two-shoes and like, Mom, if you didn't teach us to be this way, Lamont would have walked away when Eric approached Kim with the gun. So I hated my mom. I hated Black men because those men killed my brother. And the person I hated the most was myself, because I'll be honest, being an older brother, me and my brother shared rooms when we were growing up. And if he didn't clean up, I beat him up. And so at times I felt I was the reason my brother got killed, because me beating him up growing up as a kid, I thought that made him passive. And making him passive, I thought he should have fought and not got in the car with Eric and Jonathan. And so I blamed myself for my brother's death. So I went through this period of anger, hate, bitterness. I turned to drugs, alcohol, physical relationship with women. Oh, and Natasha, I had these thoughts. Sometimes I feel like I'm one shot away. One shot away from the beginning of a new day. A day that would be forever. And I would never have to worry about being one shot away, because my younger brother was one shot away from being right here today. But I know if I take this one shot, I will be away lasting. You will be passing me by. Like, why? Why? Kweisi, you had so many skills, and you was using them to help build in the community where there's no unity amongst our people. But I ain't trying to make this no secondhand sequel, because I know I'm just one shot away. And I know some of y'all don't want to be listening. So you're going to be missing it. My view, but I'm laying mines on the line for you. Because I'm just trying to wake you up, human. Because I love you, human. And I have a hold on you, human, like water does to land. And I know you could be one shot away from taking my one shot away, but I don't fear no man. I don't fear no man but God and the man in the mirror. Because I'm the man in the mirror that needs to fear. And I makes all my shots. And I always gets what I got. And I know you miss 100% of the shots you never take, but this one for sure, I would the will to make. But I know if I take this one shot away from me, I take my one shot away from me, because my will does will to see the will that I will to be. And though at times I get disconcerted and meek, and being of this physical being of this physical being of this physical being of this physical being makes me weakened. But I ain't gonna stop seeking the good and peace within this one shot away from me. So God, please stop me, because you understand the power of the mind, and mind can have you lying at the end. So I ain't trying to end this. So I'm gonna have to miss this one shot away from me, because I'm going to be with thee like the sun, so close yet so far away. So I know I can't take this one shot away, that I take my one shot away, because I know I'm just one shot away.
Hello?
So yeah, so poetry saved my life, Natasha. I thought of killing myself several times in dealing with my brother's death. And through writing poetry, and empowered me through the pen to commit suicide on paper. And one of the things I try to share with young people when I speak at high schools, colleges, or universities, that suicide, though you might be going through some tumultuous time, but suicide is final. Death is final. There's no coming back. So whatever you're going through, if you don't feel like talking to someone or sharing with it, write it out, write it down, because we all have the capacity to write. We all have access to a pen and pad. And sometimes we don't want to be vulnerable with other people, so be vulnerable with yourself with a pen and a pad. Because I didn't learn or become a poet through the ivory walls of academia. I became a poet through a PhD program at the University of Hard Knocks, because I've been dealing with gun violence since I was 11 years of age, when my uncle Levi was killed on the south side of Chicago on 87th and Emerald. Then my sister, dealing with domestic violence, she shot and killed my nephew's father, shot him in the head when he was 2 years of age. So I had to teach my nephew, Bobby.
Is your sister in jail?
No, she served 2.5 years for manslaughter. This was back in '86.
Okay.
She served 2.5 years. 89, 2.5 years for manslaughter. And so I had to teach my nephew the importance of forgiveness, of forgiving his father and death, and forgiving his mother, who he has to be with. Is he going to seek revenge on his mother? You know, in the streets, we seek revenge. Oh, you did this to me, I'm going to do this to you. So what, is my nephew going to go seek revenge against his mom because of domestic violence? You know, and she was protecting herself from being beat. And I remember Bobby, he was a wrestler when we was in high school. I was 16, they was dating. He used to beat my sister up. And I'm 4'6", 103 pounds. I couldn't do nothing with Bobby. He was a wrestler, one of the top wrestlers in our high school at Dwight D. Eisenhower. And so it was just this particular situation. You know, my sister, she was in the gang. She was a GD, you know, and her boyfriend gave her a gun to protect her and her friend, because one night in Calumet Park, they was walking home, and some guy had flashed them, you know, and so her boyfriend at the time gave her a piece. And so this particular time when she went to go pick up my nephew from Bobby's house, he got into it with her for no reason. And, you know, she took the gun out, shot and fit, didn't even know she shot him. Got her son and left. And so my mom told her, when they found out, my mom told my sister, you got to turn yourself in. She turned herself in, and she had to do 2.5 years for manslaughter. So, and then my brother was killed January 11, 94. 2 years after my brother was killed, I had a cousin killed January 11, 1994, shot the same way. I didn't even go to my cousin's funeral. I was so traumatized. You know, going in the 2000s, my nephew shot twice over a dice game. One time he was shot 7 times, survived. Shot again, twice, survived. In the streets.
The nephew of your sister?
No, this is another nephew. No, this is another nephew. Another nephew. And he want to snitch on the guys who shot him, because, you know, he living by the street code. Don't snitch. So he got held in contempt of court, and he had to sit, you know, a couple times. He literally just got out in September because he had violated his probation, being with some people, driving with them, and the gun was in the car. He in the car with them, violated his probation, so he had to sit for 8 months this year. You know what I'm saying? But because he didn't want to snitch on the people who shot and killed or shot him. And so, I mean, gun violence, it's us. And I tell people this, you know, why should white people care about our lives and we don't care about our lives? We keep saying Black Lives Matter, but why Black lives can't matter to nobody else until they first matter to us. You know, in America, it's about, on the average, due to police brutality, about 12 unarmed Black men or women are killed by police brutality. But every year, 5,000 to 7,000 Black men are killed at the hands of another Black man. I mean, we have to become steward and keepers of ourselves. And believe you me, I understand the system is set up this way. The system is set up in the way in which that it is. You know, like Tupac, he said when he went to Oakland from Baltimore, he was like, man, I just went from the hood from Baltimore to the same neighborhood in Oakland. And then when you travel, I went to a HBCU, Central State, so I got to see this too for myself, and how our communities are economically poor. We are systemically oppressed. Lack of education, lack of opportunity, lack of housing, lack of education. And so when you see this things being set up, and you see that economics can change behavior, and until we have these stable things in our community, gun violence is going to continue to be perpetuated in our community. So for me, it was easy for me to, not easy, but having some sense of education, I saw how the system is set up for us to do what we're doing to each other, and that most of the time, Black men, we are unaware how the system is set up to continue to do what we're doing. Crime pays, they don't pay us. State of Illinois, it costs $16,000 to educate a student. In the state of Illinois, to imprison someone, it's over $47,000. So where do you think the system want us as a people? Private corporations have privatized, or major corporations have privatized prisons. You know, it's 2.1 million people in America that are in prison. Most of those people are Black. Prison system are built off your third grade education, or the lack thereof. They know by the third grade, if you can't read or write, specifically read, they build prisons based on this data. So as Black folks, we got to become aware of what's going on. So it was a challenge for me to forgive Eric and Jonathan, but I didn't want to live with that pain and hurt for the rest of my life. So in essence, and to go back to answer your question, Natasha.
Wow. There's so many, I wasn't expecting that. And there's so many emotions that are happening within myself and this entire audience that's watching us live. First, I want to say that there's so many people virtually loving on you, including Melba Moore. She specifically said, I want you to tell him that she's sending you a virtual hug.
Right.
Not excluding every other, probably the entire audience here that has been gasping at your story from start to middle to now. I don't even know.
So as you take that pause, I was going to say, as you take that pause, but let me share this with you, because I am, you know, I'm from Chicago, but I moved to Hollywood in 2006 to pursue, to become a producer, to produce TV and film content. I'm actually turning my poetry book into a feature film, and I actually raised the money to produce the film back here in Chicago. But during the pandemic, I raised the $1 million in January 2020. The pandemic happened, and my investor pulled out. Nonetheless,
I'm sorry.
no, it's all up. But I've been in Hollywood for the past 15 years as a brand strategist. I have my own boutique PR brand strategy firm. I am currently in Chicago. I'm doing some work with Danny Boy, legendary R&B soul singer, currently up for Grammy consideration.
Friend to the show.
Yes. And so we were doing a tour over the summer, and the tour got canceled. And so I was about to leave Chicago and go back to Hollywood. And my friend, who I'm staying with now, Lamar, said, Kweisi, you can't go back to Hollywood. The city needs you because of the gun epidemic here in Chicago. Chicago, unfortunately, is the #1 city in America regarding gun violence. And the city created a new department, the Illinois Department of Human Service, created a new department called the gun violence prevention initiative, to provide funds for not-for-profit organizations to implement gun violence prevention initiatives in the city of Chicago. So I've been here in Chicago the past few months working with my partner, Lamar Morrell, and partner with the Rage Foundation to procure some funding, because I've been in this space for 30 years as an activist, as a poet. I've been sharing my program, MTVP, Minimizing Thoughts of Violence Through Poetry, to young people. And we got to change the mindset and the behavior of our young people. We got to teach them conflict resolution. We got to identify and help them identify their trauma. And through the arts, as you know, arts have been taken out of schools.
I talk about
music,
that all the time.
Yeah. And music does influence the way that we think. Think about this. From the 1900s to 1980s, Black music was about love, about acceptance, about empowering, about social issues. From 1980 to 2020, music has been about murder, 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 hoes, 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 bitchs, kill, 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 kill. That changed our culture. It changed the mindset, because young people now think that every time they need to do something to have a conflict, they think they need to go get a gun and pull the trigger and kill someone, whether it's on a social media beat or what have you. So we have to change our culture. We have to take responsibility as artists, as activists, as community organizers, from the private sector, the public sector, or the government. Like, our programs are so layered that when I met with Chris Patterson, some of our programs they won't fund, due to the fact that federal funding can't be used for brand messaging, for having a billboard in the community to say, yo, I am Rage. I met and forgave the brother who killed my brother. Join the movement. Federal dollars cannot be spent for that. Federal dollars can't be spent for spoken word piece on the radio or platform. So let's go take the private sector, us collectively, to come together to change the narrative in our community. And yes, music can change that narrative.
I will say, Melba Moore just messaged in the chat. She said, please send her a message so that she can be on board with what you have going on to help further what it is that you're doing.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, so music could change our culture overnight. Just like music changed our culture overnight. It's going to take some time, but the Grammys recognize that music can change the narrative, that the Grammys have now created a new category called the best song for best socially conscious song. They created that category because they want artists now to address the issues and the ills of America and the world. That's how powerful the Grammys and the Recording Academy understands the importance of socially conscious music.
So let me I just want to jump in here and ask you this. When it comes to the schools, when it comes to your story, when it comes to just everything, your whole entire existence and what that is, what's your approach in going into the schools or going into the communities? Are you starting with the Boys and Girls Centers? Are you starting just, on foot? Like, what is your strategy today, and how can we follow the leader? How can we do this with you?
Right now I'm going through the process, because to get into Chicago public schools, you have to become a vendor. Before I left for Hollywood, I was a vendor in the Chicago public schools, where I can go in, schools could hire me based on their budget, and I could implement my programs. Like, I'll tell you, a few people that are famous who came through my program, Little Rail, the comedian, he came through my program at the James Jordan Boys and Girls Club back in the day when he was 14. Because when he would come to my program, MTVP, he would always come in there cracking jokes, disrupting the class. And I was like, Lil Real, if you're doing this here, you're doing this in school, right? He's like, yes, Mr. Kweisi, I am. I say, so look, this is what we're going to do. You obviously are funny. You have the it factor. Don't consider yourself the class clown. Be the class comedian. Every time we come in here, I'm going to give you 2 to 3 minutes to tell your jokes, to do some stand-up. Because if you're funny, your peers are going to laugh. If you're not, they're going to tell you to go back to the lab. Right. So I said, I said, go to your teachers in school, ask them if they would give you 2 to 3 minutes that you could do stand up, that you don't become disruptive to the class and take away from the other students learning. He did that. They gave him the platform, and he started taking comedy seriously. So I saw that talent in him. I didn't write one joke, but I'm just saying, and that's what young people need today. They need somebody to see something in themselves that they don't see in themselves. They need guidance. They need direction. And so look what Lil Rel is now, one of the hottest comedians in America and Hollywood. He was in my writing MTV piece. You know, heck, I worked with Danny Boy when he was 13 on stage presence, confidence, and knowing his craft. I can't sing, can't carry a note in a wheelbarrow, but working with Danny Boy, keeping him off the streets at that time when he was 13, had some influence in his life. And so that's what young people need today. They need the proper guidance and direction that adults could see their greatness and help them cultivate it and bring it out of them. And so for me, I'm going through that process right now to become a vendor in the Chicago public schools. I can't go into school. I can't even volunteer right now at a school without having that vendor's license, you know, because that's what the system set up. Nonetheless, if anybody want to invite me out to their Boys and Girls Club, their college or university, some public school systems are different than here in Chicago. I am vaccinated, been vaccinated. I got the double booster, so
He's got his superpower shots.
You know, yeah. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm knocking on some doors. More than anything, I don't care how powerful my message is, but without money, the message ain't moving. You know what I'm saying? Like I wrote a book, you know, buy a copy of the book.
Where can we find the your book?
Cash at me $25. Tell me what it's for. Push your address in there. You'll receive a book within 7 to 14 business days.
Is it possible? We'll talk behind the scenes.
My cash app is my name, Kweisi Gharreu. Hashtag Kweisi Gharreu.
Okay, hold on. We need to hold on.
It's the $ Kweisi Gharreu.
Hold on, Kweisi. Let's do this right now. Hold on. Let me put it in there for people to see. So it's KW. Spell it for me. EI.
KW SI GHA RREAU. The $ Kweisi Gharreu, all lower cases. But I'm available. You know, I'm available. I'll do a poet in residency 4 to 8 to 12 weeks until this situation here in Chicago comes to fruition, you know, and procuring some grants and finding a benefactor that says, Kweisi, we believe in what you're doing. So we will fund you. What do you need?
Proper Guidance, Save the Babies. I was a former school teacher in the 60s. That's from Melba Moore. And she's definitely interested in having a conversation, you know, with you to see how she can, you know, roll out her Rolodex of people that can help and, you know, for her to get on board. So I definitely hope you, connect with her. I see,
take my number, Melba, you know, 312-217-7246. I'm for the people.
I'll send it to her. I'll talk to her behind the scenes. Leah is asking, do you take PayPal for those of us not in the U.S.? There are some international members here. So do you take PayPal?
Zelle.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do, everybody. I will, if you're watching this live, you can see his pinned Cash App right now. If you're watching the replay of this, unfortunately, you can't see it. So, Kweisi, I will connect with you on how we can effectively get books to people who are interested, and then we'll reformulate we'll reformulate this conversation. Hello? I'm just so blown away. We'll reformulate this, and I will figure out a way to Auntie Melba, I will send you his number, and Kweisi, we'll work on this going forward to give access to people to get your book. Are you currently on a tour right now for your poetry? I know.
No, I'll be honest. Natasha, I have, as you know, I've been so focused on my work as a brand strategist and publicist. I've been focused on my clients' career, their dreams, their aspirations. So now I am putting my story and my work first. It's like 1A and 1B, but I'm more moving my story to the forefront now because my friend Lamar, who encouraged me to stay home, he said, Kweisi, you got to tell your story. Yes, you're brilliant as a brand strategist and as a publicist, but you're just as brilliant as a poet. And right now, your story is needed more so than ever before. I mean, look, we just lost Takeoff. I mean, for a senseless situation. You know what I'm saying? And that is preventable if people know how to have conflict resolution skills. As Black men, yes, we talk trash. We say we are brilliant. Look, Muhammad Ali said, I'm the greatest. So we have to know as young men, as Black men, we could be who we are, be confident, but still know how to resolve conflict without taking trash talk personally. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just what we do. It's just our nature. You know, because we believe we the baddest at whatever it is that we do. You know, because we have to be confident. We have to be extremely confident in ourselves because it's so much against us. It's so much against us. The moment we walk out of our door, heck, the moment we wake up, you know, we have to deal with our own internal struggles and our own demons and our own darkness to even get up, to get out and to do what we like. Like,
I have a question for you.
Yes.
You're in the fraternity Kappa Alpha
Psi. Yes.
Do you do anything within your organization?
Yeah. I am, like I said, I'm at the rudiment of my journey now to reformulate and reconnect with people that I know in this space because a lot of people who know me hadn't known about my personal story. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so this is emerging. This is like
This
breaking
is
news.
this is re-emergent now because, like I said, for the past 15 years, I've been focused on brand strategy, pitching and TV content, things of that nature. And so now I'm back to living my purpose and my passion. I feel good about it. I feel wonderful about it. So I'm reconnecting with people slowly but surely. Now that they know that I'm back. Like I had a Zoom call with my frat in August. They found that I was back here in Chicago. They was like, Newt, Gold, it's dangerous there. You gotta go. You gotta go back to LA. And I was just like, I can't run from this. I can't be afraid to die. You know what I'm saying? And more than anything, I can't be afraid to live and share my story. You know, so I'm not afraid of what's going on. I mean, it is what it is. And unfortunately, my story now is more relevant today than it was 30 years ago.
Is your mom still with us, alive?
Yes, my mom is still alive, and she's still going through the grieving process or the getting into that space where she can forgive. My mom is a devout Christian, and she's trying to get into that space of forgiveness, even to this day, regarding Eric and Jonathan killing her youngest son.
Are Eric and Jonathan still in jail?
Yes.
How long is their sentence?
They got life in prison for first-degree murder, 30 years for kidnapping, and 15 years for armed robbery. And they was also convicted of the other two crimes that they committed during January of 1992. So it's unfortunate. Like Jonathan's dad, Jonathan, his kids lost their dad.
Oh, he had children?
So he had children. So it destroys violence, destroys the family, the fabric of the family across the board. You know what I'm saying? So now his kids don't have they have their dad, you know, because he's locked up. They don't have that relationship or what have you, you know. And Jonathan influenced Eric. Eric had just got a job at Thornton High School. My brother went to Thornton High School. So Eric came from a two-parent home, grew up decent. Jonathan, you know, he had a criminals list, longer Schindler's List, you know, and you could tell in court why he was the way he was based on how his mom was always, you know, and I say this respectfully, she was boisterous and, you know, loud in court for the 3.5 years that we was in court. So, and if I wanted to seek revenge on Eric and Jonathan or their family, I could have. Because, you know, when you're in court, everything comes out about everybody. Who's taking the kids, babysitters, and all that. And I don't want to continue to perpetuate that in our community. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you this. They're both serving life. They're never coming out. Now,
no.
The man that you are today, if you could issue them their sentence, for what they did, and this is with your knowledge today and who you are today, what would their punishment be?
What they received by the court.
Okay.
Like I had to fill out a victim impact statement. And of course they was up for the death penalty, and I wrote in my victim impact statement, don't give them the death penalty. Because my thought was and is, you did this. Now it's going to be some younger brothers that's coming through the system on this foolishness. Why don't you use your story or your situation now to share with them? You don't want to be in this space. You don't want to be, you know what I'm saying? Because all of our stories are powerful now. Even Eric and John, they took a life, but now they could use their story to say, young black men, this ain't where you want to be. You know what I'm saying? This is not where you want to be. You don't want to be in a state pen. Go to college, go to Penn State or HBCU, Central State, should I say, not Penn State, Central State University, HBCU. So all of our stories are powerful. Just how do we use it? How do we cultivate that we share this information with young brothers and sisters to say crime doesn't pay. Prison is beyond where you want to be with your life. Because you take away from yourself, you take away from your family, your parents, your grandparents, your cousin. No one can enjoy you anymore. Even Eric told me when I visited him, like the third time I visited him, he said, bro, you've been here more times than my own family been here to visit me.
Because they forgot about him.
They just like, yo.
You could never forget about him because he took something of yours, but
never.
His family probably just wrote him off. Would you send them a copy of your book?
Yes, and actually, I was having a conversation with someone else about a month ago regarding if I would go back to the prison where they are now to meet and reestablish a relationship with Eric, and or Jonathan, if he will allow me to. Yes, because I think it's important for people to see that he did something that was stupendously horrendous. Nonetheless, when you understand the psyche and you understand the system in which our community is in, you can say, I understand why because it's set up. And mentally, if you don't have the capacity to understand what's going on in our communities, because we don't get the guns. Most of us don't even have passports to leave the country, let alone our neighborhood. Most of us stay within a 2 to 3 mile radius of our homes. It's school, grandma's house, the mall, the store, what have you. We don't leave within that 2 to 3 mile radius of our homes. You know what I'm saying? So when you basically in prison in your own neighborhoods, you're going to fight and scrap. Like black folks don't go to, really, now we are, because of how they, when they started, gentrifying, and crime is no longer centralized in the west side of Chicago or the south side like it used to be, because, you tore down those projects. Now you disperse black people all over the city. And so those behaviors and that mentality is everywhere. So, like, no, we're not going in our neighborhood now. Oh, we see this person over here got $100,000 watch on. Yo, we see that. So we about to pull up on them and take them in broad daylight. You know what I'm saying? So if you could do that, if you got that kind of confidence to rob somebody in broad daylight, think about what you could do with strategy, with education, with a proper business plan. Heck, these cats move product that you can't even market, and they make $1 million a day.
Hello, let me get a couple of $1,000.
So these brothers are brilliant. They have brilliant minds.
They understand business strategy. It's what they're doing. Yes.
Yes. And they know how to be 3 or 4 steps ahead of the law.
Yeah.
We just direct them in a way in which that we could turn that entrepreneurial space with mindset into some legitimate business. And they need mentorship, entrepreneurs, and that's what the Rage Foundation will be doing as we continue.
Hold on, Kweisi. Hold on 1 second. Did your phone drop down, or is something in the way of the speaker?
No, the phone didn't drop down. It's still, you can't hear me?
You sound like you're in a tunnel. Hold on a second. Let me see if it's only me. Is anybody else hearing him differently now? Back off. Where's my back office? I just want to know, because I want to get this right. I don't want you to disappear. It just happened, so I don't know what shifted. Did you get a phone call?
No phone call.
Damn it. Something
Mic check 2-1. 2-1 mic check.
something just happened. Like
Well,
nothing is obstructing the
Nah, it is. Yeah.
damn it, Kweisi, something happened.
I didn't do anything. I didn't touch anything. I didn't move. I didn't get a phone call. Didn't get a text. Well, some things I going through my phone though regarding certain emails. So that might be the situation.
Kweisi, do you have a Bluetooth earpiece near you?
I could put on my headset.
We hear
But,
you. We hear you. Whatever you just
you hear me?
did, we
Oh, okay.
hear you better.
Okay, word.
Okay. All right,
Word.
stack normal. Let's get back into it. I don't know. There's a lot that you said. There's a lot that you exposed us to that in my little bit of knowledge that I'm able to articulate, you amplified with your experience and just higher level of articulation than me. And I'm so grateful that you came on here to talk more than just your poetry, your book that you took your time to compose, but you really exposed us all this is an audience of many different ages, races, religions, and experiences in life, and coming from different countries. And I feel, just from what I was able to just grasp from everybody live right now with us, we all want to be part of this journey with you, whatever way we can. I know I do. I know nothing about Chicago. I've only visited while I was at work, and they obviously, when we're working, they place you in the part where you're untouched, and then you get up on out of there, right out of Chicago O'Hare. So
Yeah.
I have absolutely no real experience with New York, but with Chicago. But the experience that I have is I'm a mother to 2 sons, and I'm a human being that wants to be able to know that should my children visit Chicago or anywhere that is unsafe today, that I can leave with some kind of impactful statement to clean up our streets and straighten up the backs of our youth. So please,
Yes,
whatever you do, can you please come back here and help us, help you, help heal the world?
Yes, but Chicago is a great city. The more that I travel, the more that I fall in love with Chicago. I mean, I studied abroad in Oxford, England. I
I just
visited
want to
London.
say your pizza is trash.
Oh, our pizza. No, deepest pizza. Pizza is the pizza here in Chicago.
Your
Is good. It's
popcorn,
good
your
pizza.
popcorn and pizza is trash compared to New York.
Have you tried Garrett's popcorn? Garrett's? No.
You may
Our
of
pizza.
course I've tried Garrett. So yeah, you're all right. You got popcorn, but your pizza's
Yeah, I mean,
trash.
our
Now
pizza.
carry on.
So where did you go for pizza when you came here?
It don't matter. Y'all eat the pan, whatever pizza. If it feels like I'm eating a pack of dough that was toasted in the oven with tomato sauce, your pizza's trash.
Have you been to Harold's Chicken? You got to stop at Harold's Chicken to get you some Harold's Chicken with some mild sauce.
Oh, yeah.
That's like,
A
you got to
glorified
stop at Harold's.
KFC. Give me a break.
Nah. You got to go to Harold's Chicken. That's the place to be.
This
That's
is
one of the stops you.
the real beef I want to know about Chicago is the New York pizza versus Chicago pizza. Okay, we'll make that a mission. No, but on a serious note, Kweisi, you know what? Listen, Kweisi,
Yes.
you just pulled at our souls. We got to loosen up a little bit. Just loosen your tie a little bit. Make me feel like you're a little comfortable, man.
I am comfortable.
All right.
Like, look, everybody, listen. No, look. All right, this has been my swag style since undergrad, and like when my brother was killed, I was never into name brand clothes. But my senior year of college, I wore shirt and tie every day. Even when it was 90 degrees, my peers would be like, "Why are you on the shirt?" Because I was setting a tone and a precedent for myself and preparing
Yes.
myself for the next level in life regarding my profession. And when Lamont was killed, though, I became disinterested in name brand clothes. So for the past 30 years, and yes, this is not a shameless plug, but this is the truth, authenticity. I've been wearing Gap for 30 years
Hello, are
because
you a model today? Like, we need to get you on board.
look, look, I literally just pitched Gap like, yo, I know you just lost, or just ended a partnership with someone, but yo, here's an authentic partnership that you can have. I've been rocking you for 30 years. Yo, we could still touch the people. You could still get a profit. But I stopped wearing name brand clothes. Only clothes that I would wear with a name brand on it was Rage. Release Anxiety Gain X is my partner's brand.
Can I
That was it. Other than that, it's been Gap. But Gap don't have their logo on their,
I want to ask
clothes
you
like that.
I want to ask you a question. I know I wanted to kind of jump up a little out of the deep waters. But you're such a deep person that I
I'm a
love.
simple mind. I'm a simple mind.
No, no, no,
I'm a,
no, no, no. You're
yeah,
you're
a little
re,
bit
you're re,
complicated.
you're re, you're refreshing. Are
Thank
you
you.
are you
I receive it.
traumatized? Do you feel
Oh,
like you're
yeah,
still traumatized?
yes, very much so. My wife made this comment to me
Hello,
when
you're
the park.
married? You're
I, I'm,
married?
I'm yes, yes. I'm married. Uh, yes, but hold off with all of it's been bumpy, and
Um,
right now I'm
I'm
making a
s-
huge sacrifice, even to be in Chicago for the past four months
oh, I'm
and being away from
sorry.
my family to procure or to seek funding. It's one thing for a friend to say, your family needs you, but he said, Kweisi, he said the city needs you. So he called me to action, not to save my family, but to save the city. Because he said, Kweisi, your story is so powerful. You've been doing this work. Because I'll be honest, the love to my white brothers and sisters, but unless you are faced with this particular trauma and gun violence, it's hard for you to go into our schools and our community and speak to us. Not saying that you can't be compassionate, but it has to come from us. And unfortunately, these are the cards that I was dealt, and I am playing this hand to the best of my ability. But we need to hear from us. Black men need to hear from me, someone like myself. Like when they see Jordan or Kobe or LeBron or Ja Morant playing ball on the level that they're playing, they believe that they could do that. So when they see someone like me, a poet, an artist, to give someone for the killing of my younger brother, now they can start to believe and see that. They can see, well, if this brother has done this, I could perhaps do this too. And
You're
most of
walking
us,
the talk. You're walking the
yes,
talk.
and most of us, specifically in the Black community, we grew up Christian, we grew up faith based, but only we use or become convenient Christians or are convenient Christians when we are faced with times of tumult. We don't enact or apply our spirit of forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? When we're faced with hardship or pain or disappointment or anger, we say, oh, you hurt me, I'm going to hurt you. You know what I'm saying? Like they
Well,
say, if it's eye for an eye, we all going to be blind. If we
well, what
keep
I
shooting and
do,
killing each other, we
what I
all gonna
want
be
to,
deceived.
what I want to say to you, regarding your family home front, I empathize with you as a lot of us in here do. Um, and we will keep you in our thoughts and positive energy. For everything in totality, what you're doing the work of the people, and I think sometimes when you are on this mission, from what I know of my friends who are out there on a very similar mission to you, it's a lonely road. It is a lonely road.
Very,
It's a loveless road. And so you can always come over here and get some laughs and a warm hug from all of us, and know that we support you in your whole life all the way around, and wish nothing but what you want. Whatever the best
yes,
is to you, that's what we wish to you.
yes. And let me clarify to be clear on the answer. Yes, I am still traumatized. My wife, when the Parkland situation happened, when that mass shooting happened, she saw that I got into a dark place. I would drink more. I became introverted. I didn't want to be around people. And I was like, every time a mass shooting happened in America, I would get into this dark place where I would drink more and didn't recognize I was still doing it. And she was like, you probably have post-traumatic stress and not even knowing it. And so now when a shooting happens across the country, or I'm aware of it now, so I don't go start drinking or get into that dark place and feel like, just feel just bad, because I know what these families, the journey that they're about to embark upon, like George Floyd brother. I was like, I know the journey that he's about to embark upon, the emotional journey, the pain, the hurt, the anger, the hatred. I knew it. And so I still deal with post-traumatic stress. However, when I share my story, it does help me heal. It helps me every time I share in some form of fashion, because it's my healing process. It's my therapy, my personal therapy, So, unfortunately, I'm blessed with this story, but I'm just trying to use it to the best of my ability to be a light in darkness, for my family, the community, and perhaps the world at large.
Wow. You
And I ain't perfect, because I ain't perfect. I still got, like I said, look, let me share this piece with you. I got this. I am a sinner who's probably gonna sin again. Lord, forgive me. Kendrick Lamar.
Yes.
I am a sinner who's probably gonna sin again. Lord, forgive me. Kendrick Lamar. I am a sinner who's probably going to sin again. Lord, forgive me. My name is Kweisi Gharreu. I am a sinner. And I will sin again. Yes, I will sin again. I will sin again. Not because I don't have the mental fortitude or the capacity or the spiritual discipline not to sin again, but it is my physical being. It is my physical being that I struggle with not to sin again. And Natasha, it begins. It begins from the moment that I wake. It begins from the moment that I wake from my sleep. The struggle begins from the moment that I wake from my sleep in the night. Metaphorically speaking, dark and light cannot exist in the same room. Metaphorically speaking, dark and light cannot exist in the same room, but here I exist in the same room, putting in work to live a life free of hypocrisy. But every day, all I see is hypocrisy, from the White House to the outhouse, from family courts to sports. Life has adversity, but no auditory illusions. No auditory illusions. With no auditory illusions. I keep putting in work. That I don't go yay and speak by mind, but yay, no judgment of mine, because like Malcolm, I don't wear a watch for time, but because I don't watch time, but I'm always on time. And the time has come. The time has come. The time has come for me to leave Hollywood's veil of lights, camera, action, because for 15 years, 11 months, 14 days, 21 hours, and 30 minutes, I've deprived you of my literary action. So now I'll give you a sonnet, an oud, and haiku, some alliteration, or maybe even some fractions. But nah, I'm not good at math like Robert Frost. I'll take the path less traveled. What path do you travel that makes you a sinner? Because I am a sinner who's probably gonna sin again. So I keep soul searching. I sit in the sun to soak away sin, sitting in the soul of my I soul search sin, sun, soul, silhouette. I sit in the sun to soak away. I sit in the sun to soak away sin, sitting in the soul of my silhouette, like stars in the universe I cannot see, behind the space of the sun, slowly setting, still sound swaying, saying, I want to see the sky as my soul seeks of the stillness, like simple Sahara sands going up south slowly, searching. Yes, I tell you, you have to search your unseen self, awake while on this side of the sun. You have to show yourself the silver side of your smooth spirit, awake while on this side of the sun. Because I am a sinner who's probably going to sin again. So Lord, I'm not going to ask you for your forgiveness, because to ask you for your forgiveness means I'm assuring you I will not sin again. I will sin again. My name is Kweisi Gharreu. I am a sinner.
Kweisi. Hold on. I
So yeah, so in complete artist transparency, my brother's photo, that was the first poem I wrote. But what inspired my writing was actually I had a chance encounter with a woman. And believe it or not, I used to be timid and shy. And I had no game in approaching women. At the time, I was working with WGCI Radio. Back in the day, GCI at the time did a listening party for Kale's first album. So being there at the GCI, I would get on the list or get tickets to attend certain GCI events. And I had this chance encounter with this woman. We had a few conversations with our eyes. After a few words we exchanged with our eyes, I got the courage to walk up to her and ask her name. She gave me her name. Her name was Tirsa Smith, and she shared her phone number with me at the time. You know, back in the day, she wrote her number on a napkin.
okay.
And, you know, so I would call Tirsa and speak on the phone with small talk. I didn't have pretty much to say, and we would be on the phone for like hours. And so for several months, this would go on. One time she invited me over her house, strictly platonic. And I said, look, I know when we're on the phone, I don't say much, but I wrote her a book. I said, here's the book. This is how I feel about you. And so Tirsa still has the book. We still cool to this day. I'm going to have to get that book back from her, though, so I can publish it. So that was the water to my writing when I had that chance encounter with Tirsa back in the day at this club called Enters when WGCI did a listening party for Kale's his first album. So
wow.
yeah.
I need you back here. I know we talk offline, but
Yes.
I need you
Anytime.
No.
Rick called me like an hour before he wanted me to be on with you. Like, bro, can you do this interview? We had someone cancel or whatever. I was like, yo, I'm open.
Shout out to Rick Hardy for pulling it in, and I appreciate you for shifting your evening to be here. And I know
let me get something about Rick Hardy real quick.
Yes.
Because like we said earlier, I used to cut hair at a barber shop on the south side of Chicago called Celebrity Hair Design. And I actually met Rick out at an event, and I was promoting myself, passing out my business cards. And I was like, yo, if you ever need a cut, come check me out. And at the time, you know, I shared my business card with him, and he actually came to see me. And so Rick would come into the barbershop, and he would always see at my station, I had all these positive thoughts written around my station, around the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
And so we would just vibe and talk. You know, when you cut someone's hair, you know, your barber, your stylist, you're all intimate in conversation. And so Rick just asked, why do you have all this stuff? All this, every time you got something new in here. And he's like, bruh, you're positive. I want you on my show. And at the time, I had met the guy who shot and killed my brother. You know, but Rick saw something in me and said, I want to put you on my show. So we created the segment, the spoken word segment, Food for the Soul. So I was on with Rick every night for about, you know, on GCI for 6 years, started with Rick Party for about 5 years, and I was on 1 year with the Bad Boys. So Rick gave me that platform to share my story with this positive thought segment called Food for the Soul. So I am so much in debt to Rick for seeing something in me to say, I want to share you with my listeners.
Yes.
You know? And so one love to Rick for you know, seeing that in me. And at the time, I didn't see it in myself because I wasn't trying to be who and what I am today. Wow. You know, I was just trying to find healing and overcome that pain and hurt and dealing with my brother's death. So I was always reading self-help books. I was always reading motivational things to stay positive because mentally, I mean, I was going through it. I was going through it because we was in court for three and a half years. Once a month, we was going to court and we would see Eric and Jonathan. You know what I'm saying? And they had faces as cold as a Chicago winter. Yeah. And so, I mean, I remember going to court, sitting in my car, and I had to drink before I go to court. Wow. I would drink, or I would be smoking marijuana before I would go into court, just to mentally prepare myself, but try to just have some sense of like, trying to escape the pain and the hurt. So yeah.
What a story.
Rick, yes.
Yeah, shout out to Rick. He's amazing. Oh, there he goes. Um, you for certain have an army from this live willing to put on our shoes, put on our Timbs, and roll up our sleeves and do the work with you and for you because you can't be everywhere at one time. And I always say we're small but we're mighty over here. And we'll be talking more, and I want you back here. Share with us what your developments are and what we can do to support you. So promise us, not me, promise us that, and we're on this mission here.
Right. Well, you have my number.
Your
I'm
daughter,
open.
I believe your daughter was in here.
Oh, Nairi, my daughter, she probably was. Nairi. Because I'm trying to keep my children. My son is on Instagram because he's an actor.
Okay.
One love to my son, divine love. My daughter, because of, I'm trying to teach my daughter to love her natural self.
How old
is
she?
She's 12.
Oh.
And so, social media does influence the way how women or girls see how they see beauty.
Yes.
And so, because I don't want my daughter wearing makeup or nail polish until she's
here. Swag Princess 99.
Yes, that's my daughter. Okay. That's my daughter.
Shout out to you, Princess. Princess 99.
So she can't post anything on her Instagram just yet. She just uses it to talk to her friends. Because we haven't gotten her cell phone yet because it's just like yes. I
understand.
So yeah. But she's been working it. She's been massaging the situation, using her brilliance strategy to say, okay, I can't get on, but I'm gonna figure out how I can communicate with my friends. So
keep her page private. Keep her page private. Yes. Make sure her page is private. And I'll tell you more tips behind the scenes. We can't tell them all the secrets. You know what I'm saying? So, Nai, this is your Auntie Tasha speaking. I will, if you promise me that you continue getting good grades and you are a great student and a great daughter, then I will work for you and talk to your dad and I'll get you whatever it is that you want. You can always send me a message and I'll help you out. Okay. Auntie Melba Moore says
gonna do that too. You can send you a message. All right?
She can send me messages. Auntie Tasha's friendly. I love the kids. So, But Kweisi, I'm urged to say that Melba Moore, Auntie Melba Moore, wants you on here bi-weekly. So I know you've got a busy schedule, but I want you on here often just to, for conversation. Things happen in the media. I do have headlines here that I go through, and I definitely would love to explore your opinions on certain things that do go on. And of course, I want you to come on and share with us what you've got going on so we can continue to pour into you and pour into the community. So,
no doubt.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have your number.
Any benefactor, specifically what Bezos' ex-wife, she got a few $1 billion she's trying to give away. She need to reach out.
Hello?
We could use $100 million in the next 10 years to help put a dent.
Well, listen, I told you we're small, but we're mighty over here. I've got a strong community. We're the Tasha troops over here. Okay. So this is
or go to the Rage Foundation, make a donation at the Rage Foundation, $5, $10 to help other causes. If 1 million people gave $5, that'll definitely help us get what we need to do. Because my vibe is, I don't want to wait on the government.
Well, there's that, and I also for everybody watching this, for everybody watching this live, his Cash App is right there. It's pinned to the bottom. For everybody watching this on a replay, feel free to send me a message, and I will directly connect you to Kweisi. And so the book that he has, what is the name of the book?
It's entitled Innocent Rage. Innocent being Lamont was an innocent victim.
Innocent Rage. Okay. So if you the book is $25. So if you Cash App him $25, his Cash App is spelled for our friends that are visually impaired as well. Listen, I got a big community here. The Cash App is KWEISIGHARREAU. That's his Cash App. $25 is the book. I encourage all of you to purchase the book with love if you can. And for those of you that don't have Cash App, I will talk to Kweisi offline and see how we can make this all work for everybody. Kweisi,
For sure.
you were a serious treat tonight. I'm before you go, I don't know what happens. Let me be honest with you here. Since I know you offline a little, right?
Yes.
A lot of men, I have a lot of male guests, and I love it. I don't know what it is that they see in the Natasha Simona sequence, but they come here and they share their projects, and I absolutely 100% embrace it. And I love up on the men because I feel like you all, you're really, nobody really pays attention to you for the depths of who you are. It's all about what you look like, and you know what I'm saying. Your daughter's in the room. Okay, we'll leave it at that. But I love you all. But I'm always curious, what do you smell like? So you look really nice. You got your sweater on, your hair is all parted to the side and it's all perfect. Your glasses are clean. You look like you brushed your teeth 2 minutes before you came on camera. You combed your beard. Okay, you brush your tongue, I hope. You got your necktie on. What do you smell like?
To be honest, Dream by the Gap. I mean,
Okay, hold on. You gotta tilt your neck. Just tilt your neck right here like that. Okay, hold on. All right, let me see. Here we go.
Look, I don't mean to sound like, but I just been a Gap guy since my brother was killed. Actually, before my brother was killed, when I got in college, everybody just dressed preppy. And to be honest, I couldn't afford the polo, the Eyes shirts and things of that nature. So I would go to the Gap, and get their shirts, the polo shirts and pants, the jeans, the sweaters, the shirts, the ties. And I was, cool. I didn't have polo on, but I still dressed preppy and, kept my swag game up, my fashion game up.
You put a little in your beard?
Oh yeah, I put a little grease shine in there to, make it do what it do.
All right, because you can't be out here doing the work for the community smelling like deep dish pizza. Hello?
No. my swag is on 9.
All right. No, we got to get you on 10. We got to get you on 10. Come on.
No, but see, 9 is the highest number.
Okay.
Anything after the number 9 is an addition. 9 is the only number that repeats itself over and over.
Baby, I'm a 9. Don't nobody tell me I'm a 10. Tell me I'm a 9. Because I'm fine.
9 is a number of divinity. 9 is a number of divinity. Yeah. So, yes.
Kweisi. Cole says he's married. I'm acting normal. Yes, he's very married. I got to make sure. Listen, he's away from you. You didn't hear him say he's away from home. I got to, his wife probably watching this. Girl, I got you. Now you know your man smelling decent. All right. Yep, he smells all right. There we go. All right. Kweisi, it was a pleasure. It was an absolute pleasure to have you on here and to learn about the things in which I didn't know about. And now there's a whole brand new community who didn't know you before that is just so welcomed. They've welcomed your story, and we want to do the work with you. So I appreciate you for your time. I appreciate you for your humility, your sensitivity, and your creativity. Thank you so much.
My gratitude for having me. And again, Black Lives must matter to us first before any other ethnicity will represent or to respect that tagline, brand messaging. It can't just be that anymore. It has to matter. We have to be about us, for us, and protect us. We have to empower our young kids. We have to change their mindset. We have to empower them, and we have to change the dynamic in our community. And it's on us at the end of the day. Yes, the system is set up. We recognize that now. Now we just got to fight through it. Like Biggie said it best, my mind's my 9, my pen's my Mac 10. My mind's my 9, my pen's my Mac 10. So listen, that's letting you know right now, your mind is the most powerful asset that you have, and your pen. So we have to learn to use those very two tools that we have to change the narrative in our communities.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kweisi. I release you back to your real life at this point. Whatever that looks like, I want you to be safe. And we'll be talking. This is not goodbye for you and I. This is not goodbye to us here. This is continuing on. But for tonight, go loosen your tie, okay?
I'm about to go back to work. I'm about to get off with you. I'm about to pitch myself to Fox Soul and all these other social media outlets to get this word out here. I'm about to pitch myself to Drink Champs. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to we got to get this message out. And we got to use the platforms that we listen to get the word out. We got to create this movement. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we'll be
I am
talking. My
Rage.
producer will he'll be talking to you 5 minutes after you get off. So we'll get you this clip as well. So we'll talk.
No doubt. I greatly appreciate you. My gratitude for having me.
Everybody, I want to see some brown hearts in the chat. I want to see I want to see that bronze brown heart in the chat before Kweisi disappears off the screen. I want this chat flooded with brown hearts. You were so amazing. You've touched all of our hearts. I do hope that when I talk to you afterwards and do the backings of the works, you further this connection that's happening live. So there goes the brown hearts rolling in. I love to see it. You see it? Do you see it on your screen?
Yeah.
I love it. Keep it rolling. Keep it
Yeah.
rolling. Kweisi, you're amazing, and we'll be talking.
No doubt. Again, my gratitude. Rage, release anxiety, gain excellence.
Thank you so much. Good night.
Peace.
Wow. That was like, shout out to Kweisi. Oh, Cotton says they should have been red hearts. You know what? I didn't even think about that. Shout out to all of the brothers. Shout out to all the Kappas that are in the building or watching. I didn't even think about that, but I wanted to see some brown hearts for our beautiful brown brother that was here with us tonight. If you missed the show, don't worry about it. If you came in the middle and you want to know how it started, this will be posted. You know, not even 10 minutes after I end the live. Give it about 6-7 minutes to, you know, pop up on my timeline. You can definitely go back and watch it. And I also will be putting this up on YouTube tomorrow morning. This will be on YouTube tomorrow morning as well. And my YouTube is Natasha Simona. So don't worry. You will all be able to watch this. Absolutely, I will be saving this. Oh, you know it. This must be saved. Everybody listen. You know I like to keep a tight show, but for tonight, I feel like we needed to sit here and take that all in. Do you know what I'm saying? And I don't regret any moment over. He will definitely be back, and I'll be getting more information to share, especially for all of our members in here that are living in Chicago or visits Chicago or from Chicago. I'll formulate all of that. So I just want to say a very warm, special thank you to Kweisi. You literally rocked our world. Listen, everybody. Thank you again for being here. I'm just gonna go through some stuff. Let me pull up the back office. Here we go. My back office girl keeps me in check. Okay, here's the deal. There is a giveaway happening. Once my account gets to 9,000, for every 100 all the way to 1,000, 10,000, there will be a giveaway. Hello? You all like giveaways, don't you? Get this account to 9,000. Every 100 after that, all the way to 10,000. 10,000 is going to be a big giveaway, but every 100 after 9,000 will be a giveaway. So if you like giveaways and you want to get a giveaway of some sort, let's get it up there. So share anything you want on my page. Hello? Share me. It's free. It's free to share. Tomorrow's guest, every morning, if you watch my morning show, where's the book? If you watch my morning show, we've been reading from the Book of Patience for the last month. I have the author, Courtney Ackerman. She will be with us tomorrow night. So watch my stories tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, I will give a question box for you to ask her questions. So that is tomorrow's show. I want to shout out Milk Styles, Josiah Milk Styles. I'm not sure if he's still in the building. Josiah, if you're awake, please take my call after the show, please. Thank you so much. Shout out to the entire room. Shout out to my back office. Shout out to my back office girl that holds me down. Shout out to my back office boy who stays silent when the show is happening. But a huge special shout out to Rick Party, the executive producer of the show, who is also part of the back office, who's the only person I'm allowed to name. He's literally the only person I'm allowed to name from my back office team. So shout out to Rick Party for just being amazing and quick on the toes and getting these really amazing guests in the room. And shout out to everybody who walked in here. There is a Discord for everybody that likes to continue. Josiah. Oh, not Josiah, Auntie Mel, but we have a Josiah. So there's a Josiah and a Josiah. We had Milk. This one is Josiah Milk. He's another cutie pie. Am I good on the announcements back office? I feel like I'm missing something, but I don't know what. There is a Discord. Okay, here's what I can remember. My back office girl is probably trying to get her steps in. Shout out to everybody on the Transform with Tosh journey, 4 months to forever. Every day this week, the challenge is meet 10,000 steps a day. I will tell you, first day, I failed. For anybody with mobility issues, 6,000 is your goal. There is a Discord. So for anybody that wants to continue the conversation and keep the conversation going, find the Discord in the link in my bio. It says we chat some more, something like that. Just scroll down and you can see the Discord there. For everybody that donates to the show, my Cash App is there. I also have Zelle and PayPal and all that other stuff. So if you don't have Cash App, let me know, because I am grateful for all of your donations. All donations keep me off the Uber streets. And literally keeps the lights on here. Literally. So I just want to say thank you to everybody that contributes to the show. You all are truly amazing. This is a public internet access show, and all of your contributions keep everything going. I will be back. I do 2 shows a day. So for everybody that's new to me, thank you so much for being here. I do 2 shows a day. I do a morning show at 4:30 a.m. Pacific, 7:30 Eastern. And I come right back at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. So if you only consume me in the evening time, thank you so much. I will be right back here tomorrow. But for those of you that wake up with me, you know the deal. We're up at 4:30 a.m. Pacific, 7:30 Eastern. So I'll see you in the morning time. All right, everybody, that's my time. And that is your time. I release you back all into your real lives. Get your shoes on and get up on out of here. Get your bags. Get all the stuff that you plugged in the wall over there. I see chargers. I see telephones. I see laptops. What is that other thing? Hello? Okay, because you know the evening show is PG-13 plus. You brought that? Really? Get it out of here. And make sure you clean it. I don't even want to. Get that out of here. Get that. Everybody get your stuff. Leave all of the glasses that you drank from and all of my plates. Leave them. You cannot. They are not souvenirs. No. They're not souvenirs and they're not souvenirs. However you want to say that, leave my china. I've got all my people coming around and collecting it. Everybody, please throw your napkins in the trash, because why? That's disgusting. Get up on out of here. Everybody go. Put your shoes on. I don't want shoes left behind. I don't want your bags left behind. I don't want anybody's extra phones ringing or anything like that. So come on. Who's stealing plates? Yep, I've had some people steal my plates. Yep. Leave my plates and leave my glasses, so they're here for you tomorrow. Okay, bye. Bye, everybody. Get your shoes on. Yep, the show is over. That's it. Show is over. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be back here tomorrow. Okay. Oh, you smell you smell good. What are you wearing? Okay. Okay, bye-bye. Everybody. Goodbye. Oh, shout out to my kids just walked on. My back office girl said the boys walked in. Okay, boys, the show is over. Mommy is on her way. Mommy's on her way. Everybody, I'm going to go be a mom. That's what I'm about to do. And special shout out to everybody that contributes to the wish list. Everybody that contributes in any way, shape, or form. I just want to say thank you. Now get your shoes and get out of here. Have a good night. Bye-bye.